Is the Sig P365 AXG Legion the best concealed carry pistol on the market today? Possibly ever. It depends. But if you listen to my review today and you agree with that statement, I'm not sure that I can disagree with you. The name Sig P365 AXG Legion pretty much tells you what you're getting. That is, if you know your Sig nomenclature. Who doesn't? Am I right? But I'll break it down for you just in case. First, it's a Sig. It's a P365, perhaps the ultimate iteration of the P365. The P365, I personally remember being introduced in 2018. While the 365 wasn't the first micro compact, that was the Kel-Tec P11, it was certainly the first micro compact that was commercially successful enough to spur micro compact mania, with many other manufacturers following suit, and others like CZ and HK still developing their own that haven't been released yet. I define the micro compact genre as a gun that's about 4 inches in overall height, about an inch thick, and having about a 10-round capacity. While the original P365 is definitely a micro compact, this one is not. The P365 AXGL uses the same general frame width as the original P365, although it is much taller, and it's listed as 1.4 inches thick for some reason on SIG's website, which is fatter than a 2023 Old Navy model, big for even a full-size pistol. But that's because of the butt. The AXG has Kardashianitis. The butt is thick because of the magwell on this gun. The AXG is 1 inch all around. In fact, the thickest point is just the slide release, a mere 1.1 inches. If you're using this dedicated for carry, I'd maybe ditch the magwell. It's 1.4 inches thick, it adds weight. You've got 18 rounds on hand, and as John Correa over at ASP told me, in the tens of thousands of defensive gun uses he's analyzed, he's only seen 1 or 2 reloads in a fight. But I guess you can't reload if you've been perforated because you didn't have a big old gamer magwell. I don't know. The AXGL's 2D footprint is borrowed from the 365 Macro, the 17-round version of the P365, so it's quite tall to accommodate the 17-round mags. The Macro is extremely thin for being a 17+1 gun, 20 to 30% thinner than many other 17-round handguns out there. Pretty amazing, wonderful pistol. AXG means you're getting SIG's Alloy X grip, an aluminum grip module. Personally, I like the lightweight and the flex of polymer, and in fact, I would bet that I might fire the plastic Macro better than this all-metal AXG, but I put that claim to the test in today's video. Finally, Legion. Legion just doesn't mean stereotypical gun community, Greco-Roman warrior marketing to suburban dads with plus 30 BMIs, paging Dr. Freud, by the way. It means that this is the top tier of SIG dress. In other words, the Legion designation means that this will be the fully optioned version, just like they've done with other popular models like the 226 and the P320 Legion. While your Legion will not be comprised of 4,200 heavy infantry and 300 equities, unfortunately, the good news is it's going to come completely tricked out with gray Cerakote, contoured G10 Hogue grips that are excellent, the XSERIES flat trigger, X-ray 3-dot night sights, optics readiness, 3 17-round magazines with bulked up aluminum base plates in case you need to pistol whip a fellow Legionnaire dad for not carrying around his included SIG Legion challenge coin at the Applebee's Dollarita night. Finally, the AXGL comes with SIG's 2-port integrated expansion chamber. The first time I shot this on the P365 Spectre, I thought this was a gimmick because the comp is part of the slide, not the barrel, and moreover, the barrel shortened in the comp models, meaning that you're going to give up some velocity. However, when I reviewed the Spectre comp a while back, I discovered this is anything but a gimmick. The comp works as advertised. That said, the regular Macro, the regular version, has a 3.7-inch non-ported barrel compared to the 3.1-inch barrel with the brake on the AXGL, while maintaining the same two-dimensional footprint and size. Let's get into the specifications. As I mentioned, this is a 17+1 round 9mm that comes with SIG's excellent X-ray 3-dot night sights, optics ready, with a Shield RMSC native footprint, no lame plates or adapters required. It's got an overall length of 6.6 inches, a height of 5.2 inches, a weight of 26 ounces. It's about 1.1 inch thick, except for at that magwell as we discussed. This gun is decidedly not a micro compact. In fact, it's two-dimensionally larger larger than a Glock 19, but it is one of the smallest and probably thinnest 17+1 handguns ever made. Weight, on the other hand, relative. The AXGL weighs more than a Glock 17, but at the same time, I can't think of a 17+1 capacity alloy frame pistol that's this light. If I really think about it, one of the greatest compact pistols of all time ever made, the original folded steel slide Sig 228, also weighed probably between 25 and 30 ounces. However, it was much larger than this pistol, and it had a 13 or 15 round capacity depending on what mags you were using. A better comparison is to discuss the AXG Legion against this, the Sig P365 macro I have right here. The AXGL is just a macro, but in top level trim. You're talking about the same general size, the same capacity, the same characteristics, etc. The polymer frame means that the macro is a 1/4 pound lighter than this Legion with a longer barrel, 3.7 inches versus 3.1 inches. So that's what you're giving up if you go to the Legion. I took the AXGL to an outdoor range and an indoor range in 2 different range sessions, fired at least a half case of mixed 9mm through it, including hollow points, and as you would expect from the P365 series, no failures of any kind. Sig packed my demo gun with the Romeo X optic, although my experience was limited to 2 range sessions and 500-ish rounds, give or take. It seems robustly built, the controls, the reticle, the feature set, they're all really nice. Now, don't take this to the bank because we're talking 2 range sessions and, 500, 600, 700 rounds, but for a $400 MSRP and being US made, this Romeo X may compete favorably with everything from Holosun to Trijicon. Sig also sent my demo gun with this new Foxtrot optic, pretty good for $149 MSRP, momentary and on toggles are really good. The light's bright for being this small at 700 lumens. 20,000 candela rating makes a bright white and tight beam. Again, based off only 2 range sessions, I liked it. Now, if Hop gets this thing and goes off in some hoptistic rant on how bad this light or this optic are, then so be it. But that said, my initial impressions are both very good for both of these accessories. But you're here for the gun, not the crap strapped to it. As you would imagine, the shooting experience with the AXGL was exemplary. I shoot this small gun much better than many full-size pistols, in fact. Of course, optics readiness helps. The ergonomics, the grip, all excellent. The Legion triggers have always been funny to me. If I had to describe them in a word, it would be smushy. Smushy. Is that a word? It's not a bad thing. It just doesn't fit with what you traditionally think makes a great trigger. It's got an excellent, sharp, definite reset. It's tough to get a reading on a flat trigger with my trigger scale, but it weighed about 4 or 5 pounds. I'm not really much of a fan of metal frame compact handguns because they tend to be heavy yet snappy. Think of the Walther PPK or the Makarov pistol. Both of those are excellent examples of garbage. However, done correctly, metal frame compact pistols can be comfortable and can soak up recoil. The Beretta 84, the Beretta 80X, and this pistol are great examples of that. Comfort with metal frames, extremely dependent on the user. Polymer seems to be a little bit more forgiving. Some of you may find this gun snappy, I don't know, but I loved it. However, the additional weight from the aluminum frame in a handgun will typically soak up recoil too. So with this combination of aluminum frame and the compensator, you can absolutely get on target faster and stay on target. It really does handle recoil well for being such a small pistol. The sights are great. Funny enough, the Romeo X has these really good fiber optic sights built into the actual system itself, so you've got backup irons for your backup irons if you elect to use this combo with the AXGL. We brought, count 'em, 4 Sig P365s to the range for the ultimate P365 shootout. The original 10-round micro, I'll call it, the 12-round XL, the 17-round macro, and the AXGL. We lined up at 7 yards. Ryan and I shot all of them. Our methodology was to fire 10 rounds with the best possible balance of quickness and accuracy, and the AXG Legion beat everything else on the line. Not bad. Yeah. Not bad. Everything in the 9 except for 1. I mean, damn, that's actually pretty good there.
I like it. I like the gun. I like the gun. Would I rather, I don't know how much this thing costs as we sit here today. Would I rather buy this than, say, a macro, like a plain Jane macro, and throw an optic on here? And I like this new Romeo X. This is my first time seeing it. It's kind of cool. Would I rather buy this? I don't know. I don't know.
I'll go into greater detail on my personal channel. You'll have all the performance data there in a video where I compare all the 365 models, but I don't want this video to drag on too long, so I'll save the data for that video. Now, one of the most remarkable things about the results from the Legion were how consistent they were. My first run, I shot a 90 out of 100 in 4.12 seconds. Like I said, there was no timer. We were just using natural rhythm of getting back on target and firing as accurately and as quickly as possible. So I was amazed when my next group immediately after was exactly 4.13 seconds and a 92 out of 100. Ryan shot a 93 in 4.29 seconds.
Woo! Holy shit, dude. Dude. I mean, I'm calling that's everything inside the 9 or the 10.
So not only were our groups accurate, fast, and consistent, they were faster and more accurate on average than our best groups from all of the other Sig P365s we tested. Is this the best concealed carry handgun ever made? You could make a good argument that it is. Myself personally, there are a couple of things that stick out to me that make this less desirable. One, the mag well. Well, you can take the well off. That's well enough. And for that matter, you might think the mag well's swell. Oh well. The weight, I don't like the extra quarter pound of weight, but a lot of you don't trust polymer frames, especially you older TFB bros. You might prefer something with a little bit more weight to it or with a little bit more robust aluminum frame. I get it. If you're OWB carrying, you probably don't care at all about the extra weight. Next, I'd really have to look at a chrono, but I wouldn't be shocked if you got about an extra 50 feet per second out of the 3.8 inch barrel in the macro versus the 3.1 inch barrel in the AXG with the comp. But then again, you'd be giving up the comp, and to me, the comp really does work. The results prove that. Finally, the price, sheesh, $1,200. I'm not saying that I think that this gun is inappropriately priced for what you get. This is a top of the line handgun. I just know that I can get the macro for at least $400 cheaper. And in my test, I was only about a quarter second slower on average with the macro, and our average for the score was only about 1 point off. I can get the macro in a compensated version if I want, or I can get the non-compensated version with the longer barrel. It's my choice. But for me, personally, even though the AXG Legion was the fastest and the most accurate variant of all the P365s, at least in my hands, and it is, frankly, an incredible compact handgun with monster capacity, great features and ergonomics, outstanding reliability. If I'm going to be carrying this thing inside the waistband, I'm probably going to look at the macro or maybe even step down to the XL, but that's just my opinion, and I'm just some dumbass YouTuber. Gotta say, great job with this pistol, Sig. While I might go personally in a different direction for inside the waistband tucked shirt carry, I wouldn't disagree with a lot of the critics out there who have actually said that this could be the best concealed carry handgun ever made. Don't forget to check out my comparative video. See you there, guys. Take care.